Let's rock, baby.
Okay.
All right. Shall we continue?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So here is the timeline. Here's the basic timeline for you guys. So we have 3, 1, 4, 2, and then 5. Oh wait, hang on. 3, 1, 4, and 5. That's the correct timeline. You didn't see anything.
Oh, I see what you did. Oh, I get it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
There's only one even number in this timeline?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
There's only one even number in this timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
What you on for me?
Yeah, so the order.
I kind of wish you did a snap sound effect and just watched as it got turned to dust.
Whatever. But yeah, the timeline is 3145. It's not that hard to remember, as there's no terrible games in this franchise. There is no real bad games. They're all great. Don't worry about it. Now, because huh?
Where's 2?
It's nowhere to. I don't know what you're talking about. We don't speak of superior trash. We do not speak of superior trash here.
Speak of dumpster fires. Okay.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. Okay. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. But yeah, the basic timeline is 3145. It's not that hard to remember.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple, because keep in mind, guys, in the chat, this is for people that don't know a lot about Devil May Cry, like our boys here. This is mainly for them, or anyone else.
Oh, I knew 3 was first, though.
Huh?
I knew 3 was first in the timeline.
But you didn't know 1 came after it, did you?
I did, actually.
Fuck!
I knew the games and the respective, like, placements in the timeline. I just don't know about the story at all.
Alright.
So in Devil May Cry 3, Dante's moisturizing every day. In 1, he doesn't do it at all. Then in 4, he starts doing it again, and then in 5, he stops.
We'll get to that, alright? Alright, now boys, I think we need to start off right with Devil May Cry 3, where it all began.
Oh, yeah.
Now, so some time passes after the incident between Virgil, Dante, and the disappearance of their father and Eva's death. Now, there is a bunch of stuff that happens in the manga, again, that I wanted to skim over because it's a bit too much. Again, feel free to read that on your own time, because there's a bit of details that I'm going to skim over, but it's honestly not that important, so don't worry. However, here we go. So, we start in Devil May Cry 3 with Virgil and Arkham. Now, Virgil and Dante have grown up quite a bit. In this game, they're kind of in their 20s, like 18 to 20. And the first scene we see is Virgil in a library in some city or whatever, and he's looking for information, and we see a mysterious man walking up to him, which turns out to be a man named Arkham. And Arkham is quite the tricky bastard, as he wants to know a lot about the demon world, as he's only limited to what he knows about our human existence.
Oh, that sounds skeptical.
Exactly. He really just wants to know more about devils and demons and all that, so he basically has a plan of his own, which we'll get to later. However, he notices Virgil, and he starts questioning him about the story between Sparta and Eva, until Virgil does that, and quite promptly asks him to shut up. However, Arkham manages to convince Virgil of, tell me the story of the legend of Sparta, and so they do, and then they devise a plan to open the demon world and gain the power and basically unlock the power of Sparta. Because Virgil's whole thing is that if you don't have power, why am I talking to you? You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all about that that VD energy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what their plan is that they need to go to the legendary tower known as Teminigru, which is this humongous edifice that Sparta built to help seal the demonic powers from ever coming out again.
Okay.
Yeah. It's quite big, as you can see here.
Chrono Trigger Final Fantasy Fortress.
Democrat ain't got shit on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's, excuse the crust off this image, but
Castlevania has nothing on this.
so yeah, the Teminigru is a holy tower constructed by disciples of the demon clan, originally sealed off by Sparta deep underground. Arkham and Virgil have they basically brought it back up to the modern day, because in there is a bunch of demonic bullshit that they just want to open up. Because again, Virgil's whole thing, he just wants power. That's what he'll do.
Looks like somebody just got a victory.
Wow.
Yeah, Virgil's quite into it. He, like, whenever he gets power, this is what he does. He's quite happy about it.
Virgil's in the kitchen because he just got to have himself a good old-fashioned Virgil cake.
Oh my goodness.
Spirit Legion just said the Temin demonetized grew.
Nick said he's gonna join.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, that's what I seen in the chat.
All right, I did send you an invite over Google Hangouts, Nick. You're gonna have to find it. Check your Gmail.
Don't worry, Spirit Legion. We all have to suffer through this.
Oh my goodness.
All right, I'll stop punishing you guys now.
Please.
Anyway,
Yes,
let's get into Dante and Virgil. Let's get into the looks more specifically.
Dante looks like he's fresh out of a Japanese high school, and Virgil looks like he's trying to get his hair long, but he can't.
It's like it's like Virgil's half Assassin's Creed type look. I don't know.
It's like he
Like
wants
nerd.
to look like Sephiroth, but he doesn't want to rip off his style completely.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Alright, so I want you guys to rate Dante. We're gonna do this for every game, by the way. I want you to rate Dante's look. How does he look here?
His hairstyle looks...
Keep in mind, this is the weird CG art, that key art that they use for 3, so it looks a bit weird, but it's kind of what I had to grow up with, so.
It's between 8.5 9.5 out of 10 to me.
Alright.
It's nice.
Okay, so Dante, I'm gonna rate him at a solid 6.5 because nice abs, nice coat, baller gun, sword over the shoulder, which is completely and totally pointless. But he has trash hair. Then we have Virgil.
Virgil's 8.5.
Yeah, he's an 8.5. He looks like Grindelwald.
You know what's fucking funny? No, you know what's funny is that on the Devil May Cry subreddit when that film came out, there was a post that was a picture of Grindelwald and the tag was, "Hey, look at this older Virgil."
Oh my god.
Oh wait, so Virgil's gay confirmed?
No.
But
No.
Griffin,
No.
but Grindelwald's gay.
Anyway.
You guys too much.
So yeah, I'm biased because Virgil's just an instant 100 out of 10 for me. I'm biased because
Virgil looks really cool. I love his coat. Love
Yeah,
his
bro.
love his undershirt. Boots could be better.
Demon's
nice hair.
Warehouse.
Yes, Men's Warehouse would be pretty
Yeah.
nice on his feet.
Demon's Warehouse. Demons. Demons.
Demon's Warehouse.
Capital
Demons.
D, men's with a Z.
Yeah, Demon's Warehouse.
Alrighty. So yeah,
Alright.
back to the story. So at this point, Dante he's basically trying to start up his business of Devil May Cry, which he sets up in an unnamed town, as far as I know. Because as far as I know, you don't know what the town is called that he sets up shop in. To which he calls his shop Devil May Cry.
Let's call his hometown
Oh wait, sorry.
Hype Town.
Sorry, he doesn't name it
Or
yet. Sorry.
Or we could call it Pallet Town.
No.
Oh no.
Let me continue. Sorry. He basically starts the game trying to find a name for his shop. He set up his demon hunting business, but he can't find a name for his shop. Until one day Arkham appears and says, I have an invitation for you. Please accept it. And for those of you that watch the LP, you kind of know what happens from there. Arkham does a table flip. Arkham disappears, and then Dante realizes he's got to beat up Virgil after not seeing him for a long ass time.
Yeah.
To which, after beating up, after that, Dante beats up a couple demons and starts to enter Temming the Groove. To which then we get into.
Is that the scene where he's eating a pizza shirtless?
Yes.
Okay, I've seen that.
Wow.
That looks pretty cool.
So yeah, he ends up meeting the demon guardian Cerberus, which blocks the gates of entering the tower. He beats him. He gets the famous 3 nunchaku Cerberus. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen that. The nunchuck weapon, Cerberus.
I wish that there was an image for this.
I know. I just realized I didn't do it, but it's fine.
Everybody, I want you to imagine 3 dogs' heads on the end of a chain, and they're chihuahuas.
Oh my god.
Travis, you're taking this too far.
I'm sorry.
Cerberus Jr.
Anyway, shortly after beating Cerberus, Dante sees a strange woman flying down on a motorbike, who turns out to be, who is a mysterious woman who is unnamed as of yet, who flashes by Dante really stylishly, may I add, and Dante just makes quick remarks about her, just being like, hey, yo, come suck my dick, I'm Dante, you want to go out? And she just doesn't care and just drives away. That's basically how that goes. Not literally like that, but you know what I mean.
You could tell that Dante has no human. He has no skills in socialization. All he thinks about. Oh my God, all he does is play Call of Duty.
No, that's the thing about Dante in 3 is that he sucks. He tries to, he's the suavest motherfucker ever, but he can't get a girl.
Oh wow.
Because that's the thing about Dante. He tries to be so cool, but he fails at it every time he gets to.
Too hard.
Yeah, exactly. He tries too hard.
He tries too hard and he fucks it up. But if he's not trying, he succeeds. That's a feels bad, man.
Anyway, so yeah, Lady goes off into her own thing, and Dante just says this just keeps getting better and better. And then Dante progresses further into the tower until he meets a mysterious character named Jester. Who, by the way, I like to think of this guy as Mickey.
The moment I saw him,
wish that
he reminded me of Kafka.
Like Mickey's hair onto it.
Carl, did you say that he reminded you of Kafka?
Yeah.
You're right.
I do not get that reference.
Final Fantasy VI.
Okay.
So yeah, Dante ends up meeting this crazy man named Jester who is pretty crazy, and in this scene Dante's trying to open up a door, who Jester basically says, you can't open up a door, you gotta apply something to it first. And just tells him, hey, if you hit the switch, you open the door. And if you can't remember that, write it down on your hand if you can't trust your head. And then, that's what he actually says, by the way. And yeah.
I can't trust because I don't remember anymore.
That's a great line!
Yeah, I know.
That's both slapping the character in the face and reminding the player, hey, if you go and walk away, you should remember this. This is an important gameplay element.
Oh, hold on. We can get Nick in here. Boys in the chat, if you kindly will be patient with me for just a moment.
Yeah.
Hello.
There he is.
Alright, fucking finally.
Welcome.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Nick.
How you guys doing?
I'm
Good.
So, Nick, meet
Yeah, what's
Carl
up?
finally.
Hey, Carl.
What's up, Nick?
How you doing, man?
Chilling.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Alrighty. Alrighty, boys.
Get a nice setup so I can read chat and such. All right. Don't bother catching me up. I'm probably not going to understand anything that's happening. Sam, go on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So, anyway, Chester basically is like, if you just write this down on your hand, if you can't trust your head, and he leaves. He skedaddles away. And shortly after this, Dante progresses further up. Keep in mind, people in the chat, I am going to skim through a bunch of things that aren't really that viably important to the lore, like certain weapons and things. I'll kind of save that for like something else, maybe. I don't know. We're kind of just focusing on the main story here, just to be clear. Anyway, so after Dante progresses higher in the tower, after this, he manages to reach the top. And he then reconciles with his brother. And probably, and arguably, one of the best fucking cutscenes in video game history, might I add. And Nick can attest with this, as he was in the LP.
Oh yeah, this was one of the best things in the game.
Mm-hmm. So Dante reaches the top of the tower, and Dante gets to the top of the tower, and they basically have a really short conversation. The weirdest goddamn conversation they've ever had in like a year. It's so goddamn long. And the most quotable. And Virgil says, "You showed up. You sure know how to start a party. No food." Travis. I'm quoting here. "No food, no drinks, and the only babe just left." One of the best quotes ever. And Virgil says,
Dante gets impaled, count one. Says,
Hey, Spirit Legion, we're getting to that. Calm down. Anyway, I won't quote the whole thing. I can, but I'm not going to. So basically, they just end up talking about how they haven't seen each other for a while, and they then eventually have a fight. Why? Because Dante just doesn't like him. After what happens, and Dante just really just doesn't like him. So then they start fighting, in a really cool sequence. However, there can only be one winner. Get that impale counter on screen, please. We already had it in one, so there it is. So yeah, Dante, first impalement right here. And Virgil states to him, "Foolishness, Dante, foolishness. Might controls everything, and without strength, you cannot protect anything, let alone yourself." Pretty much. And Virgil then takes his amulet away. Which, by the way, we need to talk about this as well. Before Sparta disappeared and Ava died, they gave Dante and Virgil their own significant amulets, which, when put together, unlock what is below in Temenigru, in the chamber room. So Virgil basically just needs both of these to unlock what Sparta sealed off, so he can get what he needs, pretty much. Just think of this as like the MacGuffin of this
What did
game.
he steal, though? Like, what did he steal?
His power and the Demon World Gate, pretty much.
Oh god.
Yeah, because when Sparta transferred to the human world, his demon power was left on the other side, so he couldn't really use it, pretty much.
Oh, I see.
So yeah, Virgil manages to get away with Dante's amulet, and Arkham says, "You have it, cool, let's go." However, Dante gets up after being impaled with a sword, and Devil Trigger happens. And that's how he gets his Devil Trigger, because Virgil impaled him with his own sword, because it had the taste of blood and all that. Now, to which, let's get into the look of the Devil Triggers. Look how cool this is.
That looks dope.
Yeah,
That
so
is pretty sweet.
So on the left, we have Dante's Devil Trigger, and on the right, we got Virgil's. Now,
is Virgil's sword like attached to his arm there?
yes, it is.
That's pretty fucking sick.
Yeah,
Dad,
That is
it's for
really
real.
sick.
I never even noticed that.
yeah, it moves when he wants to use it, so it moves into his hand so he can pull it out.
Damn, that's
Huh.
awesome.
Yeah, So how would you rate the Devil Triggers, boys? How would you rate the Devil Triggers?
10 out of 10. No, 11. 11 out of 10.
Yeah, Dante's is pretty fucking high.
Yeah.
Dante, I'd give him an 8.
Well, Dante is it's 9 out of 10 to me, pure 9. Virgil's is 10 out of 10. It looks better, a little more better.
Like, I like Dante's head more than I like Virgil's, but Virgil's just,
Same.
I don't know, it just looks nicer. I'm giving that one an 8.
Yeah, keep in mind the designs of the Devil Triggers was, I forget the name of him, but he works on the Persona series, which is very evident now that I say that.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I really wish I could recall his name, but he did the designs for the Devil Triggers in 3. Yeah. And the cool thing is in Devil May Cry 3, which is the only game to do this, Dante and Virgil's Devil Triggers do change depending on what weapon they hold. It's really cool. I highly recommend you actually look up all the different ones. But
that's interesting.
So let us continue.
Let's go.
Now, after Dante gets impaled, he runs off the tree, and may I add, gets impaled by a fucking whale, dude.
Wait, he gets eaten by a giant fucking whale?
He gets impaled by a whale. Sorry, not impaled. He gets eaten.
That's a 2.
He gets eaten by a whale. He sees a seductive demon named Navon and gets a sick-ass guitar sight from it. But during all of this, at this point you're kind of halfway through the game and kind of just getting stuff while moving up and down the tower. It's kind of nuts. But while this is all happening, we move into Virgil's belief. Now, at this point, they've reached the door. They've reached the door to pretty much get in. And Arkham is in the state of unlocking the door, and he's basically saying, Sparta sealed off this door from anyone from opening the demon world, and the one to open it is you, his own son. Must be fate. However, as they start walking in, Virgil says, does that woman really bother you? Claiming something about Lady, which we find out the woman's name is named Lady, and she is Arkham's daughter, believe it or not. And Virgil happened to notice that she entered in the tower and gets pretty upset.
What was Lady's name before she was Lady?
Mary.
Also?
Mary.
Mary, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because she didn't want to be his daughter anymore, so she said, Mary died, my name's Lady.
Yeah. Spoilers. God.
Shut up.
So yeah, now Arkham gets
Right now,
impaled.
she's Mary.
So Virgil stabs him because Arkham's daughter tried to come in?
Also, because he knows a lot of background information about him and how Arkham sacrificed his loving wife just so Arkham could get the power of a devil, which, by the way, he also has some demon power within him, but he just barely uses it. Which is also how he knows a lot of information.
Yeah, let's kill this guy.
That makes
like
sense.
that.
Yeah, seems like he knows too much.
Yeah, so Virgil basically says, no wonder your attainment of power is incomplete because all you did was sacrifice your wife to gain what you have. And again, just so I'm reassuring you, Virgil's power belief. He's all happy about it.
Oh my goodness.
Move next.
Need more power.
So yeah. And then Arkham is left to die. And Virgil walks away into the final door.
Virgil really doesn't learn his lessons. He needs to go for the head.
Hey, Arkham is not Thanos.
Remove the head or destroying the brain.
Oh god.
First, he does it to Dante.
Could you imagine the scene in Infinity War when he's in the weird orange world and little Gamora? Instead, it's Arkham and Lady. Like, what did it cost?
What
That would be
everything.
Yeah.
So after
We could replace Thanos with Virgil.
oh god.
Power.
Anyway.
Was it worth it? What did it cost?
Everything.
Everything. And then he puts his fedora on and walks.
No, we do not talk about that stupid hat.
Why don't we talk about the hat, Sam? I like the hat.
We don't talk about
But you
that.
would.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, moving along. So yeah, Virgil manages to get into the final thing, which we then move into the second Virgil encounter. So at this point, Dante is moving up and into the heart of the tower, which Virgil is in, and he sees the incantation right there and attempts to slice his hand, because the way to open it is that you need the amulets and the blood of a demon, which he has, and this is what he thinks. He starts putting blood in there and tries to get it working until Dante is back.
Oh, hello.
Dun, dun, da, 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 da. I'm alive, bitch.
Thanks for that. Anyway, so yeah, Dante gives Virgil some shit about how you suck at opening it, and basically finds out my mother's amulet was the key to open the demon world. Good plan, Pop. And Virgil states just the opposite, actually. Originally, it was given to, God, I like have the quote in my brain is getting jumbled up, but he said it was given to humans as a gift for what it is. And Dante basically just says, it doesn't matter to me. I've come all the way here for just one thing, you. And they then ensue in another fight, as Virgil thinks if it needs more blood, he could just beat him up some more. So they end up fighting again until Lady shows up and gets in the middle of the fight, who thinks her father's been manipulated by Virgil. And Virgil's...
Whoever's phone that is, can you silence it, please?
Yeah, I can hear that too.
I can't. There's like a furnace behind me, and I can't turn it off.
No, the phone vibration. You can't turn that off.
Phone vibrate. My phone's not vibrating.
This phone is vibrating.
It's not mine.
It's not mine.
I hear something going. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, Virgil basically tells her foolish girl, and they start fighting some more until both Dante and Virgil get a good hit on each other and start getting a bit fatigued. Until dun dun dun, Jester has turned out to be
Mickey bastard.
Oh my god.
So it's
boy, it looks like my master plans here. You activated my trip card.
we're done. We're done.
I'm sorry.
No, we're done, boys.
Please,
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Please go. No, Sam.
Just kidding.
Yay.
Don't do that ever again.
Okay, I won't do the Mickey Mouse voice.
Only if I allow it.
Okay.
Anyway, so it turns out Jester is Arkham in disguise, as he just wanted to make sure everyone got here while weakening them. And while Dante and Virgil are in this state of fatigue, Arkham kicks their asses, keep in mind. Like, he just catches Virgil's sword right there. It's nuts.
Oh wow.
Like, Virgil just goes on for the straight-on chop, and Arkham just catches it.
The clap.
I like Mohammed's comment. Plot twist! Anyway.
That's a great one. I like that.
Anyway. While they're kind of just beat up, Arkham then explains what Sparta really did to seal this tower was his own power and the blood of a mortal priestess, who then it turns out to be his wife, aka Mary's mother, who then he stabs Mary in the leg with her own rocket launcher, which then starts to activate the entire thing.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, it turned out. It turned out to be. Sparta sacrificed a mortal priestess to do the thing. Yeah, sorry, I got that mixed up. But they all managed to get Arkham cornered here, badass like. until the thing starts to activate and Arkham he starts kicking ass.
There's this sick 3-person takedown
Yep.
out of nowhere.
Yep.
Fucking man.
Yep.
Damn, that old man can breakdance.
Arkham isn't that
Still think
old,
it's-
believe it or not.
Bullshit. Seeing that scene for the first time was like, fuck that guy. He's like 70 years old. He can't do that.
Fuck that guy. I'm 21 and I can't do
Right.
that. That's
Right.
bullshit.
So yeah, Arkham manages to get the literal sweep on him and knock them off
Yes,
the
we
thing. And he basically just yells, "I will obtain the power of Sparta!" and fully activates the tower. And it gets really wacky because at this point of the game, all the rooms start getting reversed, and you kind of go through the game backwards and forwards and upside down. It's nuts.
It's like Castlevania Symphony in the Night.
Exactly, a little bit.
Oh my god.
I love it.
A little bit. Now, at this point, Dante is going through the tower and starting to go through it again until he meets across Lady again in what we call "What Do You Know About Family?" She sees her kind of just tired and starts pointing guns at him as Dante states, "If you're too tired, stand back. I'll take care of this myself." And she says, "No, this is my job. I want to kill Arkham because he's my dad." However, Dante really thinks she shouldn't, as it's not really a human's job to do so. Taking out a powerful... Because if anybody like Arkham would obtain the power of Sparta, they're freaking OP as hell, because Sparta is ridiculously powerful. Now, of course, Lady can't really let go, so they gotta fight it out in arguably a really cool scene right here. And kind of pushes the moral of the series is that humans have something that demons don't, which is heart. Believe it or not. Cheesy, I know, but that's what it is. Don't fuck with me on that.
Yeah.
Oh, I have an Undertale reference.
Go ahead.
Well, it's just Undertale stole the whole storyline from Devil May Cry 3. Their entire premise is just stolen.
Nick, what do you got to say about that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
It gives me determination.
Yeah, because the whole humans and monsters don't have determination and spirit like humans do, and yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Now that I
Guess
think
so.
about it. It is.
Yeah. And that makes humans like incredibly powerful and the ability to completely like annihilate a universe apparently.
Oh my god, that's too funny because you're absolutely right.
Yeah, Travis got that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, they end up getting in their fight, and Lady ends up kind of losing, and Dante basically just says, "I'll take care of him." And you think here that Dante would go in for the kiss, but he doesn't.
Dante doesn't know what sex is.
Dante's
too
the most
busy stabbing
virgin
people.
red coat wearing motherfucker I've ever seen.
He's too busy getting impaled to impale.
You know, it's funny you say Travis. It's funny you say that. No, Travis. It's funny you say that because I remember seeing a meme again on the Devil May Cry subreddit of the film The 40-Year-Old Virgin, and it's just the Dante for Devil May Cry 5 as the cover.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So done.
Anyway, yeah, Lady gives Dante her rocket launcher to basically, here, if you can't, just use this if you can. And Dante says, "I'll take care of him," and that's that. However, while that's going on...
Guns aren't honorable, but rocket launchers are.
I'm sorry. Spirit Legion just said Dante is a pure Christian boy.
Wow.
He wouldn't do that before marriage. You silly you.
Anyway.
Spirit Legion.
Keep going,
10 out of
Tim.
10.
Anyway, so while that's all going on, Arkham has managed to kind of just get into where Sparta's power is locked off. He gets both of the amulets, puts them together, and then gets Force Edge, which is what that sword is right there, and it was Sparta's sword. And now, let's be real. This is the most powerful sword in Devil May Cry lore ever. There's your good look of it. On the left, that's Force Edge when it's just used and when it's not powered up. On the right, that's what it looks like when it's fully awakened, when it's held properly, basically. It's fucking
Looks
nuts.
like it got covered in goo, and they just kind of used that goo to stick another blade on it.
Is anybody
And
else
I'm okay
getting
with
like Soul Cal vibes here?
Yeah, I
Nightmare-
was having the
Nightmare
same
sword.
thought.
My main man, Nightmare.
Nightmare.
Yeah,
Yeah, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that sword turn into a scythe too? For some
it
reason?
does, yes.
Yeah.
So it inverts
Which
the
is fucking
edge.
cool.
Oh god.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Why is the left picture? It's inactive, but like it looks like a master sword.
It kind of does.
It's just when you're using it the right way, like say if you had the right amount of demonic power, the sword will awaken and turn into that.
That makes sense.
Dude, Spectre, he's so right. He said, Sam, Arkham praised the sun before it was cool.
Oh my god, what is with everyone in like quoting things today?
Hilarious.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
Anyway.
This is so memey. I love it.
Also, little note, you can actually see a little resemblance of Sparta's face when it isn't powered up on the hilt. Which is quite a little funny thing I like to mention. Anyway, so Dante manages to get inside the demon world and then encounters Arkham, who is representing Sparta's image. And just basically starts talking a whole bunch of shit about how do you think you feel about looking at your own father's image. And Dante says, it's like staring at a backed up toilet. And they have a quite funny scene to me is that after that Dante says, why do you gotta keep sticking your nose in other family's business? Come on, dude, don't you have any hobbies? And then they both start laughing for like a full-on second. However, after that, Arkham says, can you still talk big after seeing this? And turns into that.
What is
Big
that?
blue circle monster.
So it turns out that Arkham can't really control the power all that well, and he starts turning into that combustible homunculus, aka Chaos, from Sonic Adventure.
Chaos.
Oh.
And
Opening thought.
so yeah,
Well,
basically Arkham turns into
the-
Chaos.
The Noise Marines and any endeavor they undertake.
Wait a minute. Spirit Legion said, been playing these games for 15 years. Why am I only learning of the face on the sword thing now?
Oh my goodness.
You learn something new every day, Spirit Legion.
Good job.
Anyway, so yeah, you get into this really fucked fight, in my opinion, against Arkham, and Dante starts fighting him. Until, you get halfway through the fight, and you notice Arkham's arm gets cut off, and we see the boy survived.
Oh, hello.
And Virgil states, I've come back for my power. You can't handle it. And they both end up having a quick truce and both decide, instead of letting this man ruin their father's legacy, they both gotta team up and take him out. To which leads in probably the coolest goddamn sequence ever, to which a really cool sequence where you actually control both Dante and Virgil in the second phase of the fight, which is really interesting. And
yeah, in the
Oh,
LP,
climbers.
Sam just threw the controller at me and said, good luck.
Wow.
But it's okay, because Virgil can't die, so.
yeah, that's a funny Easter egg actually. When you're in that phase of the fight, and if you get a syncing controller and press start, it will the second player will actually be able to control Virgil, which is pretty OP considering Virgil actually can't die in that
That's
fight.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's really great. One of the best moments of the LP, honestly. Now, after you beat him again, you get arguably one of the best cutscenes ever, where they both start using each other's other weapons, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And in one final blow, they both... Dante gets his gun knocked out of his hand, Virgil uses it, and Dante says, remember what we used to say? And they both say, jackpot,
Kill shot.
and Arkham explodes. And
Oh, yeah.
to quote Virgil here, he says, "Not very classy for someone's dying words."
Wow.
Because as Arkham is exploding, he's saying, "I have the power of Sparta." It's fucking sick.
Man, should have picked some better words.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, that was your thumbnail.
Exactly. This is fun fact. This is actually the same image, but cropped.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Anyway, so after Arkham explodes, Force Edge and both their amulets show up.
Master Swords.
Soul Edge.
Master Sword, Soul Edge, whatever the fuck, and it starts to fall into, and then it starts to fall into the portal into the demon world, and both Dante and Virgil go after it, which then leads into the moment, the one, the sibling showdown. Now you see Force Edge fall into a river, landing into a river, and Virgil and Dante land and try to grab it. However, Virgil grabs it along with his amulet, and you can see Dante's right there in his hand, and Virgil says, "Give that to me." Well, Dante says, "No way, you've got your own." But Virgil just wants his too. And Dante states, "What are you gonna do with all that power, huh? No matter how hard you try, you're never gonna be like father." And Virgil rushes at him, and they block their swords with their goddamn hands.
Damn, they're copying Arkham now.
Oh my god. Oh no. We didn't do the clap.
Yeah, that they fucked up.
Yeah. QTE failed.
Double QT fail. Anyway, so yeah, they both clash their swords, and at this point they both clash their ideologies and their heritage, with Dante saying, I have to stop you even if it means killing you. And while Dante tries to convince Virgil in trying to stop all this, Virgil's pursuit of power just cannot be stopped. And in saying, our souls are at odds, brother. I need more power. And unfortunately, they end up fighting one last time. And eventually, the best man wins. And and when it... Really?
Dante,
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I was holding it.
It's fine. So yeah, Dante manages to get a good hit on him.
Mm-hmm.
And Virgil drops both Force Edge and his amulet into the river. But before that, he manages to pick up his amulet and starts stating to Dante, "Leave me and go if you don't want to be trapped in the demon world as well." He wants to stay. Keep in mind, they're right next to the edge. So yeah, Virgil just keeps stating, "I just want to stay here. You better leave before the gate closes. I'm gonna stay." And before the big moment happens, and I'm getting goosebumps as I'm saying this, he says, "This place was our father's home." Dante reaches, and Virgil falls. So yeah, Virgil ends up falling into the depths of the demon world, never to be seen again. Dante picks up Force Edge, and he doesn't say anything during this scene. However, you can clearly tell what he's thinking right here. God damn, I need to buy a boat.
Oh,
Now.
yeah, I can get all the girls with this.
Man, I need to buy a boat. I need to take Professor Xavier out there, and we can finish it once and for all.
Last stand.
Anyway, so yeah, Dante picks up his Force Edge and walks off. Now, after this, he manages to get out. He gives the rocket launcher back to Lady, who, by the way, shoots Arkham dead after getting rid of her name and fully actually just letting her name be Lady from now on. And shortly after all that, Lady starts giving an inner monologue about how they took care of the demons and that was that. She says she still has a job that's far from being done. And Dante ended up finding he basically set up his own shop and vowed to help Lady hunt all the demons down. And as you can see, he can finally start his business. To which he actually found a name for his shop. Devil May Cry. Roll credits.
Wow.
I'm just
the
imagining the entire soundtrack for this game is a banjo now.
You're welcome. That was the Friends theme, dude.
Yeah.
I know, but it sounded like it was a banjo.
Anyway, so yeah, Dante finds the name for his shop. Lady goes under her new name, Lady, starts hunting down demons. It's all good. However, one last thing happens. We see Virgil one last time in the demon world, who then sees a pair of 3 glowing eyes, which we will get to later. And he starts charging at it while saying, if my father, it'll be fun to battle with the Prince of Darkness. If my father did it, I shall be able to do it too. Runs at him and disappears, never to be seen again. And that was Devil May Cry 3, boys!
Alright.
Wow, that was cool.
Oh, that's good.
So, any questions or anything? And also, how's the chat doing?
Chat's doing good. I want to answer this question that Spectre had a little bit ago. He asked if we're doing Kingdom Hearts after Dead Rising.
Don't spoil it.
I kind of want to do a live stream of it, maybe.
Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
My dude Carl's probably gonna do that too. So
I've been doing it for like a month.
yeah,
A month.
everybody here keep an eye out on Carl's channel.
Yeah. It's been actually it's been pretty inconsistent for a while,
That's okay.
but yeah, I'm doing okay.
So,
Good.
so any of you guys got any questions for me regarding anything during all that?
Okay,
What is your
so
favorite mission in Devil May Cry 3?
Wait, what?
What is your favorite mission in Devil May Cry 3?
Mission 7, where you fight Virgil the
Mission
first
7,
time.
Where you fight Virgil.
What's
Is that
your
the
least
second Virgil
favorite?
fight?
What, Carl?
What's your least favorite?
That would be if we're gonna count difficulty, that'll be mission 19 on Dante Must Die, where you have to fight Arkham in the most bullshit
okay,
possible.
so, why did he get an electric scythe guitar?
All
Was
the
it ever elaborated on? Was it a flawed device, or was it just, oh hey, here's a random weapon that we think looks?
There was a boss demon that gave him that weapon after you.
because the thing with it's not really that much explored, but it's kind of just known at this point that if you beat up a demon, you get a devil arm from it, which is kind of their think of it as like their well-being, but in a weapon, like Cerberus. It's like Cerberus, but turns into the nunchucks.
Yeah, it's like a demon weapon from like a Warhammer 40k. Okay.
Yeah, good example. That works. So it's kind of just think of it as like when you beat up Navon, who's like an electric, fucking hell, seductress who uses a lot of bats and stuff. She turns into like a electric scythe guitar thing. Well, like, you get the idea. It's ridiculous. And let me see chat. Mission 19 without second place. Yeah. What's your favorite cutscene in the game? Honestly, when Dante's running down the tower and you hear Devils Never Cry. Honestly, the best scene. Nick knows what I'm talking about. Best scene in the game.
Unrelated question: do you have a stream plan for the MK11 reveal tomorrow?
Yeah, we do.
Yes, we do.
Hopefully, we get up tomorrow morning.
For us.
Oh man, I'm not gonna be able to be there because I have work tomorrow.
Oh no! Yeah, it's alright. Yeah, DMC3 is great to start with. What's the best DMC game to start for new players? Just asking. Honestly, I say a lot of people say, like, for people that want to play the series, they say, "Oh, play one first." I say play 3 first, because when you're playing 1, you're playing a dated game from 2001, and some of the stuff hasn't aged well, like the camera and things, and you're better off playing a game that's more fun than being getting used to when it comes to an old pre-RE4 camera. That's what I'll say about that.
Stuff that's like super outdated and just doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, it's quite ridiculous. Now, I need to grab another bottle of water. I need to grab another bottle of water really quick because my throat is starting to show.
Before you go, I want you to open this image up.
Oh, God. It's going to close the thing. I don't want to close it.
Damn it. Okay, everybody else open it up and tell Sam what it is.
Ah, God damn it. What is it?
It's just a picture of Darth Vader holding somebody up by the neck.
Stormtrooper.
Not
Strong people don't
Not
put
for
others
choking
down.
up.
Yeah,
Lift them up.
Holding them, and it just says strong people don't put others down, they lift them up. Darth Vader, philanthropist.
Fucking really? Now I want to see it. Hang on.
Just open it, it's fine. You'll get back to where you were.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
God damn it! Travis, you and your goddamn memes.
I find memes very well.
Alright, let me just, I need to grab another bottle of water so I can, get ready for what we're about to talk about next. Just, give me a minute, guys. I will be right back.